Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday morning. Welcome to Live 365. I'm on with my friend Dan Bennett this morning. Dan is the owner of DBC Solutions. And I got to know Dan over the past, 5-6 years or so through different coaching groups and just become friends. Dan's been up here to camp before. And Dan, I'm excited to have you on today. I appreciate you doing it, short notice. But you jumped right on it. So thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate that. It's great.
Yeah, you're always on the live. I appreciate you. Appreciate your support. We've done different things together, coaching wise, trips and conferences, and but it doesn't seem like I don't know too many months go by before we run into each other. So take a second. I mean, people know who you are. I think that did jump on here, but for those that don't, take a second and let everybody know who you are and what you do.
All right. Yeah. Well, my name is Dan Bennett. I own DBC Solutions, where we transform the space you live in to a place you love to be in. So I've been doing it
All right.
for a long time, man. Yeah, I mean, 2004, I first started my first business and still plugging along.
Yeah, and I'm like a lot of us. You kind of started on the tools, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Carpenter by trade, and did that for many, many years. Unfortunately, I've figured out how to hang up the tool belt in the last handful of years here.
Yeah, well, that's great. Um, what made you start a business?
Didn't want to work for other people.
Yep.
Always thought I could do it better than everybody I worked for.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. What's I was asking this question the other day. What's something that you've learned in the process, say that you didn't know 10 years ago?
How to run a business.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, I mean, there's.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, there's a lot that goes under that umbrella, but that was the problem. I thought running a business was easy. I really did. I remember thinking, while working for other people and thinking, what is this guy doing that I'm not doing? I'm the one out here, blood, sweat, and tears, making all the money, and this guy's the one going on 4 vacations a year, has a badass new truck, a boat, a camper, and all he's maybe doing is a little paperwork at night, talking to a couple customers, like no big deal, right?
Right. It's easy. Everybody can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But
yeah, well, I mean, I've seen, I've had a front row seat to your growth in the last year or so, and you've really turned it on, and you've got some help with virtual assistants, and it seems like you've got just a renewed commitment to your business. Because I knew you were getting frustrated, and it's easy. I've been there.
Yeah.
What would you say has been the biggest thing that's kind of driven that renewed commitment?
Being around the right people,
Yeah.
surrounding myself with good people and support, community. And since right around the same time I met you, I think that was like 2021 ish.
Yeah, it was the fall of 21. Yeah.
Yeah. And just that's really when it all started for me. Started to learn that you could ask other people in the industry and they would help you, and
Right.
hired my first coach, and just again surrounding myself with the right people and the right mindset.
Yeah. Yeah. It's you always hear me say, get in the right room, right? Get in a room where people want you
Yeah.
to win. And Matt Blood's up here did some tile work for us over the past few days at the house. And we were talking about that too, where like so many of our friends are like all over the country. And there are people we enjoy getting together with that are true friends. Not that friends locally aren't, but that it's on a different level because you've commiserated about business or shared success and you shared the struggles. Would you agree? I mean, that's
Yeah,
help.
right. 100%. Yeah, having a community that you can lean on, knowing that There's somebody there that you can pick up the phone and call when you got a question, or maybe you just need to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Shit's tough, had a rough week, rough day. There's somebody there that'll help you, that'll talk to you, give you
Yeah.
advice. One thing I've learned about being in these communities is, we have these Facebook pages and school apps and stuff like that where everybody sees the messages, and if I need something, I'll throw a message up there, what I'm struggling with, and
Yeah.
people are literally tripping over themselves to come help you. Here's
Exactly.
here's a document. This is what we did when we.
Yeah.
Feel free to copy this. Change the name, use it if you need it. Call me if you need any more information
Yeah.
about it. But this is what we did when we ran into that problem, and it seemed to help us. So,
Yeah.
you're welcome to it.
Yeah. Unlike say a trade group or a Facebook group where, hey, you put a picture of a nice set, nice set
I
of
know where you're
stairs.
going already. Yeah,
People just rip you to shreds. Like, dude, you didn't return
right,
the corner right or not. I mean, that's going to
right,
fall apart in 3 years,
right. Yeah. Oh man, you just crushed my world, bro. I was so proud of this.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, good morning, Ben Bryant, Jess Novak, Corey Nacetta, calling in, so to speak, from the camper in Andover, Maine. That's cool. I think Andover, Maine. Mr.
Ben,
Bunker is here. Yeah, Mark
we
Bunker's
start
here.
at 8 sharp, buddy.
Give it to him, Dan. Josh Baker and Danielle are here. Good to see you guys. Matt Tolman jumping on. Good to see you, Matt.
Oh man,
we need some more Tolman on the live 365, don't we? He's a
right?
good boy. Yeah, yeah. So, Dan, one of the things that I think I was talking with maybe it was Mark Bunker about was like leadership, right? So, hey, you're on the tools. You decide to start the business, and all of a sudden now, you have people you have to lead, right? What's
Yep.
that journey been like for you? Is that a natural for you, or is it something that you need to work on?
Definitely not a natural. Something I have to work on. I always thought I was a good boss. Never even really thought about it from a leader perspective, like the title of leader.
Yeah.
Always, my way of being a good boss was give them tips and bonuses and buy food and drinks all the time, just
Right.
and I didn't understand why, people would leave or have a problem with me until I got coached, until I started learning and being around these people and understanding what being a good leader is about. And it's not about showering people with stuff. It's about having a good good culture, good vision for your business, letting people know what's in it for them, really. Like this is how can I help you get where you're going in life?
Right.
And that's not a cheeseburger and a Coke at lunchtime. So
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. On the leadership side, I had a question around the tip of my tongue I wanted to ask you. It was about tough conversations, right? And so it automatically, like when you're managing subs or managing employees and dealing with people, you are, if you haven't had a tough conversation, you're going to have one, right? So it happens, right? How do you have a certain way you handle tough conversations, things that you're uncomfortable with, or do you just avoid them in general?
That's a great question, man. Because traditionally, years past, I would have just avoided them in general, But I've come to understand that you can't, right? You can't, because when you avoid that stuff, then it's you get more of what you tolerate, right? So if you don't nip it in the bud, so to speak, it's just going to keep happening, and it's not because they just don't know. It's like, it's interesting because one of the things that I'm really dealing with right now is finding and keeping the best possible trade partners, and getting them to follow our process and our procedure.
Right.
Business is growing, and we're adding, virtual assistants, like you said. I'm heading down this road where I'm gonna I'm going to use even virtual assistants to even do our project coordination. So they're not going to be on site. They're not going to be able to stop into the job and take pictures
Right.
and figure out where you're at. So if you don't give us the feedback that we need, then this isn't going to work. And so,
Yeah.
you got to follow our procedure. And there's been many tough conversations lately around that. So
Yeah. And has that been was that a tough change for you, or an ad to kind of let go or have somebody managing something within your company from a remote location, not right in your office?
um a little bit, sure. When I first heard the idea of having virtual assistants, I thought the person that was telling me was crazy. I was like, that's not for a construction company.
Yeah.
That's just not going to work. And it took me, I would say it was about 4 to 5 months of being in that group and listening to that over and over and over again and seeing examples of other people that did it and it worked.
Yeah.
And then I jumped in and it's been a game changer for us. We're just about to hire our third virtual assistant right now.
That's amazing. And it's truly a pay as you go thing too, right? Like you're not, where sometimes be like, wait, I'll wait until I got this much work built out before I hire that office admin or do the thing. And so I'm glad that it's working for you. What advice would you have for somebody that's thinking about getting a VA, as they say?
Um, do it. It's you got to just do it. You got to try. But I would say, you know, I think one of the big hangups is how are you going to train them? How are you going to how are you going to teach them to do what you need to do without being there with them? And
Right.
what we've learned is we just record the process. So,
Yeah.
if I'm going to pay vendor bills, let's say I sit down in front of the computer, and this is already done in my case, but I sit down in front of the computer, I turn an app called Scribe on, and then
Yep.
I do the process with Scribe running. And Scribe uses its superpowers and algorithms and AI, and it turns it into a process step by step, and it
Perfect.
shows you screenshots of what you got to do, and then we
Yeah.
just save that. That's vendor bill processing.
Well,
And then I sit down with the VA, and they do it once, I do it once, they do it once, and then we let them rip.
there you
Simple
go.
as that.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. It's good to hear. And it's good to hear you're excited about your business and all that. Where do you hope to be? If we're sitting here having this conversation a year from now, what are the things that have happened for DBC Solutions?
I'm sitting on the beach next to Bubba Hogan taking pictures of my feet.
I don't, I don't think it take any more of that. Oh, shoot.
But yeah, I mean, all joking aside, I want to be able to have the freedom. I want to be able to come to work in my business because I want to, not because I have to.
Yeah, yeah. Do you still have to jump on the tool bags now and then?
No.
Good for you, man.
Yep.
Good for you. Yeah.
I just
Well,
I
that's
just
cool.
drew the line. I won't do it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. What's an ideal client for you, Dan? Who are you looking for?
Um, we're looking for uh couples, um, dual income, can afford what they want, and let's say they're raising their family. They love the house, the location, the town, the school system, whatever it is that they don't want to leave. But their house doesn't suit their needs.
Yeah.
And we'll come in and make it suit their needs.
Yeah. Cool. There's Pat Johnston on there, said you've been crushing it this past year. Good to see you, Pat. Guys,
Thanks,
if you have
Pat.
questions, any questions for Dan, post them up. Dan owns a renovation company. Dan, you're in Connecticut, right? But very close to Mass, right?
I'm in. You can't get any farther in the northeast corner of Connecticut. So I'm a half a mile from Massachusetts and 2 miles from Rhode Island.
Wow.
Yep.
Positioned pretty well. That's cool. Yeah, it was something I was going to ask you. Oh, I know. And we've had discussions where you might have a certain time in your business where you're not loving it, right? And you've seen people that may be struggling from time to time, or just kind of feel like they're on an island. If somebody who's watching this and is, getting cooked, getting burnt, just hard, doing the grind, right? What would you say to somebody that's just struggling in business right now?
I think it goes back to where we started this morning, Bob, and it's being around the right people. Get in the room. Don't be afraid. Ask the right questions. There's support out there. Some people would think that you can't ask another construction company. We'll use as an example another person that's in the same business, because they're not going to share that information with you. But you'd be surprised in how much people are willing to share. And just asking those questions. Just don't be shy. If you stay quiet and you stay in the corner, it's just not gonna help. Get yourself out there. Call me.
There you go.
Call Bob.
For sure.
Like anybody. There's people that are here that are willing to help you, and this is an example of it, right?
Yeah, I know the community is unbelievable. Danielle says double income. A dual income. I'm out.
we can work with you. It's okay, Danielle.
And if you're a cat lover, even better, right? So
you got to be a cat lover.
Got to be a cat lover. I'm gonna leave that one. Ben Bryant says, "Tell us more about the cat trackers." Good stuff, Dan. I know you do a lot with the community, and you're very active. You do some radio advertising. I've just seen you really be active out there, in the general public. Even most recently, I saw you a picture. You seemed like 70 or 80 people at a baseball game, all with you. Tell us about that event. What did you do there?
Yeah, well, I mean, that started with us, Bob. 2 years. What was it? Two years ago, I think. Yeah. Me, you, Catroni, Bunker. I forget. I think there was 6 of us. Maybe it was Matt Blood. I think there was 6 of us. We went to a ball game in Worcester, and then the next year, it grew a little bit. We ended up with 20 people there. And then we started. Listen to Bill. Oh, Bill, come on, man. I used to like you.
Cat lover, I'm out.
But yeah, it grew a little bit more, and this year it just started. I started putting it out there, and we got more and more interest, and then it evolved. I instead of just going to a ball game, I decided let's make it a DBC event. So we titled it the DBC Summer Networking Party at Polar Park, and by the time it was all said and done, I sold 83 tickets.
Good for you, man. That's great. That was a great group picture, and I'm like, oh, there's Catroni. Oh, there's Bunker. Hey, Matt Tolman's there. I saw a bunch of people that I knew in the photo. That's a great venue, and you've been up to Maine to the Sea Dogs one too. So it's good stuff, man.
It's fun.
Catroni likes to get to a game. I'm going to get him on here one of these mornings and have a conversation as well. And today we're going to take Matt Blood down to the best breakfast place around here. And so we'll send you and Bunker and Catroni a picture of a big old breakfast this morning. So we're going to get ready for the backside of that.
Yeah. So, Catroni, I thought, was coming here this morning with a breakfast sandwich for me. He asked me last night, what do you need? I told him a breakfast sandwich, a coffee, and a good conversation with my buddy. And he said, what time do we start? And I told him 7. And here we are, 20 after 8?
I texted him and offered him to come on, and I didn't hear back. And I figured if I heard from you or him, whichever one texted me back first, I would say, let's go. And you were the one.
Nice.
So he's probably busy doing something. So Pat says, ask Dan about his dinner he cooked earlier this week. Tell us about that.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Thanks, Pat. We were down in Spring, Texas, for our ground school event down there, and I had an Airbnb, full house with a full kitchen, and so I just started asking around the room and seeing who would want to come over for dinner on the last night of the event was Tuesday, and got everybody was like, yeah, I'll come. So we went down. There was actually a young kid in the room that was telling me his father owns this business where they make you know what a turducken is, where they stuff the chicken, a turkey. They make all these special meats, and they're actually nationwide. They sell in grocery stores. They're in every Buc-ee's location. So he was like, yeah, my dad owns this business. It's incredible. And he's got his own little deli down the street here. He showed me where it was. I went down there and I spent $250 on all this amazing food. And we ended up with, I think, 15 people in the room.
Cool.
And it was, the community. There was cigars and whiskey and food, and we hung out for 3 or 4 hours, and it was gold nuggets dropping all over the floor. So
that's the thing too. You go to events, and you guys were at Steve's ground school, I think, and which is awesome. And but the real value sometimes is the conversations after or before, in the hallway of the hotel, or even something like that. People getting together for a bite to eat, sharing a meal together, and that's where those connections are made, so good stuff. Well, hey, Dan, like on my podcast, I always kind of leave off with like, what do you want people to know? If you could share, if the world was listening, what would you tell them?
I get out of bed every morning to make a difference for the kids in my family. There's never a whole lot of good examples set in my family. Success, money. Nobody ever taught me about money. As a result, at 53 years old, I'm doing a little bit of backpedal and trying to make sure that in another 10 years, I'll be able to relax and be okay. I don't want those kids to deal with the same thing. So I'm just trying to set a good example. Little eyes are watching, man.
Nieces and nephews, and your Uncle Dan, and I can attest to that, because I can vouch for you, because I see your posts all the time. Here you are, and I see the ones that you did 10 years ago. You're like, oh, that was 10 years ago. So it's not just something you did a little bit of. You've just done it all the way along, and you're making a big difference in those guys' lives. I'm sure they'll remember that. So. Yeah, and your kids are your cats, and we'll talk about that another time. So
it's funny. I got to throw it out there. We've made that part of our interview process when we're hiring people. Are you a cat or a dog person? And we're judging people. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to be a cat person, but honestly, what we're looking for is how you talk about animals and how you relate to them. And
tells you a lot about a person, how they treat an animal, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, Dan, I appreciate it. I love you, man. I'm glad you came on. Took the opportunity. I know it was short notice, but I appreciate you taking the time. And hopefully, Catorni will show up with that breakfast sandwich for you.
He just texted me. Said he's got a few things to do, but before he can. So I guess I'm going to be hungry for a little while.
Tell him I know he's ducking me, and I'm coming for him tomorrow.
All right, buddy. Thank you, man. I appreciate the opportunity to jump on here with you. It was a good time.
Brother. Take care, guys. If this was helpful, share it out.
Have a great day.
Have a conversation with somebody about business. Anybody that might be struggling on some things, share this with them. This is the Live 365. Do this every day at 8:00. And these past several days, I've just been bringing on some people that I've gotten to know and interact with, and love and respect in the business and friends community and network that I have, just to share some of these guys with you guys. So hopefully you have some people like this in your life. If you don't, then get here every day, get to know some of these people, and it'll change your life. Thanks, Bill Gustafson. Thanks, Andrea. Appreciate all you guys. I love you all. Have a fantastic day. We're going to go get Matt Blood a big breakfast. We'll see you guys. Take care.
Nice.
Thanks, Dan.
Peace out.
Later. We'll see you.